Hello Toy Collector fans, Universal Toy Collector here and welcome to the channel. Join me in this video, which will be filmed over the next few days, as I once again make changes to the collection room. Righty ho then, so this will be one of the areas I will be focusing on. It is the Transformers display. Now, I've had these two little units here for quite a while now, but I've got to say, not really happy with them. So I'm going to be taking those out and swapping it out for something different. So I'm going to have to move all of this out of the way. Then as we move up, because the unit that I'm getting is slightly bigger, this shelf will have to go, as will that shelf. And what I'm going to do is, if I pan over here, this unit here, as you can see, got all the DC Multiverse Batman figures on it. I have bought another one, a white one, which will fit in that area there. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what we're going to do with these two units, whether we're going to move them on or keep them. I'm not too sure, so I'll let Georgie decide that. But yeah, so they're going to be replaced by one of these units, which I need to make and put together. Obviously, before I do that, I need to take out the shelves, obviously, fill the holes and slap a bit of paint over there. So in this video, I'm going to be taking all this away, filling the holes on this shelf here and this shelf here. Then tomorrow, once that is all dried, I'm going to put a coat of paint over that. And then the next area, if I just move around here, is here. I think this is a kind of wasted area. And these two shelves are about as useful as a chocolate teapot. So these are coming out. Again, I'm going to need to fill the holes, rub them down afterwards, then paint over them. And then I'm going to be putting some shelving across this area here. Size, awesome artwork there, will get moved to here. And the Max Rebo poster, hopefully, will get moved to there. Or this area here. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah. So what I'm going to do then is just move this over here, make a start, and take all these out and get those holes filled in. So the next bit you see will be fast forwarded with a bit of music, obviously. Okie dokie then, so that is the first part done. Now this is the worst part, I hate doing this part, and that is taking these raw plugs out and then filling up with plaster. So I've got those 4 at the top there, these 4 here. Then another 2 down there, and then if I whiz like so around this way, I've got 4 at the top there that I need to take out and fill, and just here as well. And then I've got to take these picture hooks out as well. So yeah, but what I'm going to do is come back over here, and that is start on this side here. And yeah, so the next part of the video again will be sped up with music. And look at the state of that. That is why I prefer units to shelving. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to fill these holes, and again, these ones down here, I've taken out practically half the bloody wall as well. So there's that, and that there, and then I've got all that mess down there that I need to clear up as well. Whoop-de-doo, brilliant. And then spin it around here, and again, look at the state of those. An absolute nightmare. So yeah, brilliant. I've still got to take those picture hooks off the wall as well. So yeah. Right, okay, so I'm not going to film this next bit. What I'm going to do is get these holes filled and then show you the end product. So 2 seconds. Righty ho then. So that is that. The holes are filled, and thank God for that. However, I've got to say, I did find it fairly therapeutic. But yeah. So like I said earlier, what I'll do is I will leave these plastered areas to dry, then come back tomorrow with a fine bit of sandpaper, rub it all down, smooth it out. Then I will be applying a coat of paint to cover it all up. And now I'm really debating with this area here. Do I put shelves here? I know it's behind a door, and people will be going, well, what are you putting shelves behind the door for? You're not going to be opening the door. This will be very true. But that's probably going to be all I can do today. So what I'll do is I shall leave the video for the time being, and I shall return tomorrow. So for the time being, see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is the following day, and we're here to pick up from yesterday. So let's just take a look at this plaster. So yeah, this is properly dry now. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is get a sanding block and some fine sandpaper, rub all that down, make sure it's all smooth. And I'll be doing the same, funnily enough, to this wall here. Once the sanding's done, I'm going to get a cloth, wipe it all down, get rid of any dust, dirt and stuff like that before applying a coat of paint. Now, whilst the paint is drying, I'm going to leave it a good couple of hours. I've got other things to do. When I come back, I will be then assembling this unit here, which is exactly the same as that unit there. Once that's assembled, I shall be putting that there. So there shouldn't be any holes drilled, so it should be okay to
put that up. Actually saying that, I might need to attach it to the wall, so there might be a hole around here that I need to drill. Oh, sorry, just there. So I can attach it so it does not fall forward. So yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do then is crack on. So the next part of the video will be sped up with music. And here we have it then. So these are nice and smooth. They've been wiped down, so I can now apply a coat of paint. Now, I was thinking of doing a DTM, and oh, it's a little bit dark in here. Wait a minute, hang on a minute, let's get some light on. Yeah, I was thinking of doing a DTM and just using the one arm, but my right arm thought, sod that, no chance. You get that left arm working. So I did use both arms in the end because the right arm struggled a little bit. But there you go. So there's that. There's lots of walls in this video, isn't there? So yeah, yeah, bet you're loving this. Right, so next clip is going to be me applying some paint. Again, it will be sped up with music. And here we go then. So for all you wall fans out there, look at that. It's all painted and looking not too bad. So like I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a couple of hours to dry. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be heading down to the post office. I've got some, oh, like I say, it's a bit dark in here, but you can see the patches where I've gone over with paint. So yeah, I've got a couple of bits I need to post off to Sai Manga Fandanga, so I'm going to get and do that now. And then once I come back, I will be assembling the move the toolbox out of the way, the unit here. So yeah, right. So I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. Righty ho. So here we are then, a couple of hours later, and I've got all the pieces out ready to put this unit together, including the instructions and my glasses. Now, I have put a couple of these together before. They are fairly straightforward to put together, but the writing on the instructions is very small. Hence the reason I will be using my glasses, because I don't want to be putting the wrong pieces in the wrong places. Otherwise, it won't look very good, will it? Right, so I'm going to be busy cracking on doing this while you guys watch in double time to music.
Okie dokie then, so here is the first area done and dusted. I've got to say, I'm fairly happy with how that has slotted in to that area. I think these shelving units look a lot better than the old CD racks that we had here. But yeah, really happy with that. It went together quite easily. However, I have to say, bit of an old hat at this now, bit of a pro, so I did make it look easy. So I have fixed this to the wall. I've had to put like a little hook just in here and then screw it into the wall to stop it leaning forward. I was going to have it freestanding, but it kept on tilting slightly and I thought no chance. I don't want anything coming off the shelves or these falling forward. So there you go. So what I'm going to do now then is get my transformers and get this display unit populated. Okie dokie then, so let's take a butcher's and see what we've done. Off the bat, it's not how I wanted it to be, as in terms of display, but I shall get to that in a minute. But on the bottom shelf then, we've got a mixture of reaction figures and Studio 86 figures. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't like reaction figures, they're rubbish and blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. Right, I don't care for that. I like these simply because I think the card backs look absolutely fantastic. So as you can see, they are carded. And yeah, I'm happy with those. And then the Studio 86 figures from the Transformers movie, Starscream in the middle there, Bumblebee and Jazz, 3 of my favourite Transformers characters. So yeah, happy with that, liking the way they look. Then moving up, we've got some more reaction Transformers. And again, the card backs, absolutely stunning, loving those. And then we've got some RED Transformers as well. And again, people, I don't like those because they don't transform. Again, not interested in that. It doesn't bother me. I like these. I think they look absolutely fantastic. So they're in my collection. So happy with that. And then we've got some little Transformers here. Soundwave just there and Megatron at the back. And they were kindly gifted to me by Adam Berry, also known as the Real Toy Dude. Moving up. Now this is where I'm not too happy with how the display, should I say, is looking. Now these YOLO Park Transformers, absolutely fantastic, liking these a lot. And I would have liked to have displayed these, A, with their stands, and B, with the boxes. But again, I don't have the space to display it how I wanted to, so these are just as they are for the time being. One day, when we get a bigger place, I will be able to display these guys exactly how I want them with the boxes, because I think the box art looks fantastic, and with the stands as well. But as is, I've got to settle for second best for the time being, but I'm okay with that. And then we've got a loose reaction Starscream there. Now the reason this guy's loose is because my friend Gojitron sent me a gift parcel a couple of years back, and the parcel was damaged and ruined the card backs. So I opened Starscream and Jazz, who's on the next shelf, and yeah, I've managed to acquire them carded as well. So yeah, so that's why I've got an open Starscream just there. Moving up, we have
the RED Bumblebee. Now, as much as I said I like the RED line, I've got to say the scale is absolutely shocking. I really do wish that Bumblebee would have come in a smaller scale. You know, he's a 6-inch figure and he sort of like matches in with Optimus Prime and the rest, and we all know that's not right because Bumblebee was a mini Autobot, so he should have been smaller. But as is, he's looking pretty cool there. And then we've got Jazz here that I was talking about just a minute ago, again sent by my good friend Gojitron. The card was damaged, so yeah, I took him off the card. Then we have the re-release of Jazz in the box there. Again, Jazz was the one and only Transformer I had as a kid, and my nan bought that back from the States back in the well, mid-80s when Transformers was first released. But here is the original Jazz. I got this off of Rob at the last Sandown Toy Fair. Very, very happy with that. That is awesome. Liking that a lot. Yeah, as you can see, I've managed to transform him. A little bit wary about that, but happy days, all good. And then moving up, we have the re-release of Optimus Prime and the RED version of Optimus Prime there. So, yep, again, very happy with that. And then on the top, nothing's really changed there. I've got the 3 mini Autobots, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, and Brawn. So, yeah, really happy with those. And what I'm looking to do is enhance how the collection looks. So, I'm looking at getting acrylic cases for the 3 figures at the top there, an acrylic case for Optimus Prime, and an acrylic case for Jazz here. So as far as the RED, the reaction figures are concerned and card backs, I think I'm quite happy with how these look in these foldable display cases. We shall see. I do like myself a bit of acrylic. Right, okay, so that is the Transformers section there. So again, like I say, not how I wanted it to look, but I've got to say it does look a hell of a lot better than what it did. So yeah, overall fairly pleased. Now I've just got to move on to this bit here. And, oh God, do I put shelving up here or do I leave it as is? Well, not as is, I might put pictures up and stuff like that because they look a bit plain and boring. But, I mean, I've bought the shelves, so heck it, why not? Let's get some shelves up, shall we? And see what a ball ache that's going to be. And yeah, right, so 2 seconds. So here we are then, the shelves are upon the wall, and I've got to say, they went in fairly easily. Saying that, the brackets that go in onto the wall where you fit the shelves on, I put it up the wrong way round. So these little screws here, you've got holes on the upper side of the brackets. I put them up the wrong way round. So I thought, well, I won't make that mistake again. And as soon as I put the bracket on the wall, I put it on the wrong way round. So yeah, I had to take that off. But other than that, I've got to say, it does look fairly decent. So what I've done is I've put some stoppers there because I know that's going to hit the door. So let's just test this and see what we've got to play with. So the door is open as far as that can go. So yeah, we're looking at that much room to get through the door. Okay, that's going to be as tight as a duck's arsehole, but it should be alright because yeah, we'll be okay. Just need to be careful coming in and out the door, that's all. So yeah, so there's that. Happy with that. Let's just close that. This wall here then, I'll get my words out. I will be putting some artwork up on this wall. So the Max Rebo art will go there. Simanga Fandanga's art will go here as well. So, and then I can put some art down the bottom there, maybe, who knows. But yeah, so all I've got to do then, well, apart from put the art on the wall, that is get these shelves populated. So let's crack on and do that. 2 seconds. Okie dokie then, so I now have a Marvel display, so yeah, pretty happy about that. I've been wanting one for a long time, but I've just never found the space to display my figures, well, the ones that I want displayed anyway. So as you know, I had Green Goblin and Doc Ock on display. They were in that corner there, but the shelving wasn't adequate enough, so I'm happy with that. And Doc Ock hopefully is in a happier place now and he won't keep bloody falling off, so there you go. Here are the Marvel Legends 80th anniversary figures. So you've got, just move Iron Man out of the way, you've got Wolverine and Hulk back there, so liking that. And then as you can see, we've got Thor, Iron Man and Captain America. I think I've got a Wolverine as well that I could put on display here. I'm also wanting Punisher as well, so yeah, maybe one day I'll grab him. And then underneath we have the X-Men from the animated series back in the 90s. Now, as figures go, I think they are pretty shocking. So I'm liking the box art and the design of the boxes, the video cassette. So, and they are looking pretty colourful. So yeah, really happy with how that's looking. I do have one more I need to get, so hopefully I'll acquire him at some point. I'm in absolutely no rush, but yeah, I mean, he's a bit wonky there, isn't he? So, but yeah, I've got to say, really colourful, liking that. And then if I just pan back, that is pretty cool. So yeah, happy with that. Like I said, I'm going to be chucking some artwork on there. As you can see, the paint is looking a different shade there, so I thought it was the same colour. Maybe it hasn't dried off yet, but if not to worry. I'm going to be putting some pictures there anyhow. So I'm going to crack on and get those pictures up, and I'm going to do that off camera. And yeah, 2 seconds and I'll see the video out. Okie dokie then. So here we have Red 5's Max Rebo band live in concert poster right there. So that's looking pretty cool. And if I pan down, I've got size Indiana stew. So yeah, really liking that. That is cool. I've got a bit of space at the bottom there. I'm not too sure what to do. I might put another couple of pictures up there tomorrow, but that'll be off camera. I've got some space here as well, so who knows, maybe in the future, another shelf. But to be fair, I've had enough for today, so I've got to sort stuff out before Georgie gets home. Like I say, really liking the box art for these figures, the X-Men figures. Not so keen on the figures, that's why they're staying boxed there. Again, liking the 80th anniversary Marvel Legends there, so pretty cool. This bloke, I've gone off him. What an absolute turd burger to try and display. I need to find a way of keeping him upright. He's fallen backwards. He's fallen forward a couple of times on the floor already, so an absolute arse wipe. And there you go. There is Green Goblin, good as gold, like him. This turd, not so much, but there you go. And then if I come around here, I've got the Transformer setup that I did earlier. Again, relatively happy with how it's displayed. Not what I wanted it to look like to begin with, or how I imagined it, but nonetheless, I'm still relatively happy with how it's panned out. So yeah, looking pretty cool. And like I said, it's all about, what's the word? Oh, for crying out loud, I used the word. It's all about the look of the collection. So I want to be getting acrylic cases for these guys here. This guy here, an acrylic case, and Jazz. Not too sure about the Super 7 figures. I might just leave them as they are. They're looking pretty cool. And I've already started getting acrylic cases. I've got them for these 4 guys at the top there, so they do look a lot better, in my opinion. So next up will be these 4 figures, or cards, should I say, for acrylic cases. And then the next 4 there. I'm in absolutely no rush at all to get those sorted out. But yeah, so job done. Liking it a lot. So yeah, happy with how things have panned out. Anyhow, that's enough for me for one day, I think. So if you are new to the channel, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to let you know of more content. And as always, there will be more content. Appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate your support, your generosity, and most importantly, your friendship. It does mean a lot. Take care, stay safe, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.